Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today. We're going to talk about comic books, like I always do. This is what I do. But I have I made a video about Jim Lee a while ago, and I called it "Is he the most influential artist of all time?" I didn't say greatest, just because that's all subjective. But is he the most influential? Now, what I want to do here is show you the 90s. Different. This is from Youngblood, I think. But here's Thor. Of course, who doesn't remember Rob Liefeld, Captain America? Now, believe it or not, I know that people give him a garbage. This is actually in perspective. They found a drawing that he used. This is actually in perspective to one of these humongous people. It's just Captain America doesn't look this way, of course. Um, but I want to um, look at this. Particularly the Invisible Woman. Wonder Woman. This was Green Lantern. Oh my God, Guy Gardner. Batman, of course, was replaced after Bane broke his back, and he became this thing here that is a mistake. Don't worry about this. This is actually a cool cover, but it is part of that whole '90s gimmicks here that was showing up. Again, I believe this is no, it's not Thor, but um, I don't know who that is. But you can see this is Greg from the '90s. So tell me, what do you see that image influence go through all over Marvel and DC as they are? Look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that cover. Um Nomad in the um just my god. This is Jay Lee. Um Thor becoming like a the oh my god, they had a thing going on Thor here. Um Let me see what else we got. I mean, of course, the most off Kelly Jones could, even though Kelly Jones is a magical, he couldn't make this character better. It just um wasn't gonna work. Poor Wonder Woman again. You've seen this example. So this is why people don't, when they refer to the '90s as a bad era of comic books. Again, it's the Superboy character with the jacket. I mean, I this is why people look at the '90s with such disdain. Superman again, um, and that Image Comics freaking influence that just carried over on absolutely everything that Marvel and DC did. They wanted to get this Image Comics sold mostly because of Jim Lee. This is Greg Capullo, who is an incredible artist, but he was forced to draw like, Jim Lee. So there's a lot of hatching going on. And it just, they didn't let artists just do their own thing. They wanted artists to copy the Image formula. And so they did. So you get a lot of stuff like this. And Mike Manley, who drew Batman during this time, is a solid artist. But for God's sakes, they basically are give him garbage to work with. And it just doesn't work. So Steven Splat here, who was made for Image Comics, absolutely was made for Image Comics, and so you get these these arts like this with Thor here. Oh goodness gracious. And so there's a lot of stuff that um in the 90s. So here's more proof that Jim Lee was the most influential artist ever, because he became the house style that everyone wanted to emulate. And even Mark Bagley here, the hatching was just um yeah, it just, oh, there's one I wanted to catch. Captain freaking America. Look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. How can people not, I don't know. I don't know. The Scarlet Spider again, uh imagey, very image comic books. Marvel didn't want to do its own thing. Marvel wanted what Image was having, so they decided this is what they were going to have. And Rob Liefeld is part of that whole era. And because Rob Liefeld is popular, despite the fact that I don't understand, if you're a Rob Liefeld fan, good for you. I think he sucks. That's my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think he's terrible. But he's popular, so you can't argue with that. Um, look at Superman with the long hair. That's a cool poster there, or pinup. Here's the Avengers. So when you see people crap all over, I know a lot of people grew up with this and they may see this, but as cool, but man, it really wasn't. A lot of these artists were just, this is Ron Friends. They uh, these characters were completely changed, but not for the better. They were made edgier, not because the story demanded it, not because of anything, but because the ponytail, God, what a staple of the 90s here. It was just because Image was doing it, and if Image is doing it, then by God, we gotta do it too. So, here's what I mean with, that's a small one. I'll find some Andy Kubert in a bit, and I think Andy Kubert's a heck of a guy. Again, Fantastic Four, Black Panther, this 90s thing. Here's the full cover. I switched to Google from Yahoo here. Here's John Romita Jr. And this is a Punisher. It's one of the Punisher titles. I forgot which one. But look at this fucking big gun. Even the Punisher wasn't exempt to this 90s big get big guns essentially here. Here's the Avengers. Every all these things just completely changed. Daredevil. Look at that. I mean, let's give him shoulder pads. Why not? Um, you know, it just wasn't good. I mean, this is Sal Buscema, and Marvel's like, I need you guys to change the way you draw. The New Warriors, total response to that 90s drawings. So you guys tell me, is this the era that people just absolutely feel like it's so good? I understand that this is just a fan art, I know, but this is what Daredevil freaking looked like in the 90s. That is just here's again freaking Captain America. Just ugh. Ugh. Look at this. armored, and oh my god, they killed it. Just this is why this is why the '90s just totally sucked. We went from Jim Lee rendering, but Jim Lee hatching just caused and the boom of image. This is fine because it's Jim Lee, and Jim Lee can do Jim Lee. Everybody else can't do Jim Lee. It looks terrible on everybody else. And of course, some of the biggest abomination of them all, the Iron Man. Oh, this costume. I hated it. I absolutely hated this thing. Again, look at the hatching. It just people not everybody drew like this, and Marvel just made everybody draw like this. They're like, "No, we want hatching. We want Jim Lee." And Iron Man just everything just got changed. So comic books just quit selling during this time because it just this new art style that everybody wanted or seemed to want, because Image could get away with it because Rob Liefeld, had his studio and but they Marvel just I don't know. Marvel and DC completely screwed things up with Wonder Woman and Batman and just this '90s style. Once again, Superman, Steel, and Superboy. Um, the Guardians of the Galaxy with Jim Valentino. That was pre-Image, but and this is what I mean. The hatching in there, yes, it's but everybody just it just changed the way everybody drew, the way everybody was doing stuff. So this cover is actually not too bad as far as how it's drawn, but these two you can definitely see. I mean, and this is Wonder Woman right here. What the hell? Ugh. Oh, another sin. Aquaman's hand. Ugh. My God. Another trope. Another edgy. Here's the Flash. Look how big he is. Muscular. I mean, dude, the dude runs. He's supposed to be skinny and thin. Um, all these things, all these, I don't know. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of these mid '90s? By the early '90s, it's the mid '90s. This '94 to '96, sometimes '97 era. It eventually does fix itself, and as we get away from the Jim Lee-ish of everybody trying to. But look at this. Look at this horrendous. What the hell? Um, Goodness gracious. Um, these eras, I tell you, they are. This wouldn't be too bad of a cover if it just I don't know. Am I making too much of it? Do you guys really do like the '90s? This era again. The '90s is 10 years. Do you like this mid era of the '90s? Say between '94 to '97. Do you guys think that all the comics there are trash? Look at this. This is where they got rid of his hand, and then he gets a hook, and then they get this costume. I covered JLA. That costume of his from Grant Morrison's. I do have a playlist for it. I make fun of Aquaman every time he shows up during that time. I'm not a huge Aquaman fan to begin with. But that costume was something else. Here, I found the costume. Here's the abomination. Here's another abomination. Ugh, and the hook, and what the hell? Ugh, ugh. Not. Not my Aquaman. I'm not big on Aquaman to begin with, so I don't care. But this costume is just horrible. Yeah. So anyway, I've rambled on forever. Let me know if there's good stuff down there in the comments. Just anything that you think is a good '90s comic book. From this particular era. Again, I'm looking for the mid '90s. I don't need you to put stuff from the early '90s when things were still really doing really well, and the late '90s when things had fixed. Like you can, like the Authority and Stormwatch, the end that Warren Ellis had done, and Planetary and Captain America after Ron Garney takes over with Mark Waid. That stuff is good, but just anything in that 94 to 97 era. Is there anything good? Is there anything that doesn't look like garbage? So let me know. Thanks for listening, and thanks for letting me ramble. Goodbye.